Hi there, my name is Dorothy Page Toby, and today I'd like to tell you about capturing nothing, how scientists took the first photo of a black hole. Now, I'd like for you to imagine that you're giving the most complex problem you could ever think of in terms of a physical object, but you have no way of actually looking at that object or even knowing that it exists. This is the problem that scientists face with black holes up until April of 2019, when we were finally able to capture an image of a black hole. And this is what they captured. Now, I know that this may not look like much, however, this is monumental, both in terms of technology and science and theories about black holes in space. Now, there are two main points I'd like to get at in this presentation: how scientists were able to capture this image and why it's important that they did. So, firstly, how did scientists do it? To start off, I would like to tell you a little bit about the black hole itself that we captured that image of. It is located in the Messier 87 galaxy in the Virgo cluster, and according to NASA's Jet Propulsion Lab website, this galaxy is 53 million light years away from us. And if you don't quite know how far that is, that's 318 quintillion miles. And if you can't quite understand just how big that is either, then here you can see 318 quintillion miles and all 18 of its zeros. So that's how far this black hole is from us. And actually, these scientists were thinking about using this tech to take a picture of the black hole at the very center of our own galaxy, the Milky Way. However, there's much more dust and things like that between us and the black hole at the center of the Milky Way than there was between us and Messier 87. So that's why they chose this one that was much further away. Now, the exact tech that they used a method called very long baseline interferometry. And interferometry is basically where you take radio telescopes located in different areas and synchronize them so that basically you're able to make one gigantic telescope. And so this was done, and there were radio telescopes used in Mexico, Hawaii, Arizona, Chile, and Spain, as you can see here on this map. And if you look at this, you can see that from Spain to Antarctica, this means that we have about an Earth-sized telescope that we're creating, which is huge. According to EHT's website, VLBI allows the EHT, the Event Horizon Telescope, to achieve an angular resolution of 20 microarc seconds, which is basically akin to being able to read a text or a piece of newspaper in New York all the way from Paris. So this is huge. And actually, how these radio telescopes work, just a little bit on them. These telescopes receive radio waves. The dish magnifies the radio waves back to the rod in the middle, and this amplifies it and gives us a clearer image. So these were used to capture this image. Now, the data that was captured only took actually 4 days across the world, weather conditions allowing. But the amount of data that was captured was monumental. It is actually, according to National Geographic, about 5 petabytes or 5,000 terabytes. And so this took them 2 years to go through, even though it only took 4 days to capture the data itself. And then these 2 years were spent splicing together all of these images and interpreting the data. So secondly, why does this matter? Actually, this is huge. And it's of great significance in the scientific community because this finally confirms our theories of black holes. We were pretty certain that they existed based on different theorems and things outlined by Albert Einstein and other scientists. However, we never had this direct evidence of black holes themselves. This also has opened up new avenues of study for scientists because they are now able to make direct observations about these black holes. And it helps us give insight into the formation and behaviors of these black holes that may not have been predicted by our algorithms and computer simulations before. This also was a major innovation in study methods because, according to NASA's official website, scientists actually thought that it would take decades before we'd be able to do something like this because we'd have to build a huge space telescope in order to capture an image of a black hole. However, by using the resources already available to us, we were able to take this picture many, many years before we ever thought it would we'd be capable of doing it in the first place. So this has led us to look at what we can accomplish with what we already have instead of taking the time to build other things. In conclusion, I've told you a little bit about VLBI, or Very Long Baseline Interferometry, and how it's used to capture the first photo of a black hole, and how this monumental development finally allowed for us to confirm their existence in the first place. This discovery and inventive use of extant resources have brought us into an age where we can both begin to understand more about the final frontier and even what lies at the center of our very own galaxy. Thank you.